The US rapper Kanye West has been locked out of his Twitter and Instagram accounts after posting anti-Semitic messages. The star had his Instagram account suspended at the weekend after accusing rapper Diddy of being controlled by Jewish people. The message played into a long-standing anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. West responded to his suspension by rejoining Twitter and doubling down on his remarks, earning him a second disbarment. Both platforms removed West's posts and said the star had violated policies on hate speech. Well, for more on this, we can bring in a Rise correspondent, Judita Da Silva, who's been monitoring developments from London. Great to see you, Judita. So a series of anti-Semitic posts over the weekend have led to Kanye West being suspended from Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, we don't want to repeat those posts exactly, but can you give us a general idea of what he said and reaction to it?
Yeah. So to know how we got here, you have to look at the trajectory of events. So I'll do it very quickly. First of all, Kanye West broke off his partnership with The Gap because he felt they hadn't fulfilled certain things he wanted with having his own stores. He did this very publicly on social media. Then he went to Paris Fashion Week. Paris Fashion Week, he did a show showing his new pieces where he wore a sweatshirt that said White Lives Matter on the back. This then brought backlash from the Black Lives Matter organization and the Black community. Kanye West became very defensive, and when he does that, he talks even more on social media. So then he got into an argument with Puff Daddy, with P. Diddy, and then he put out posts on Instagram, which are the ones you speak of, where he spoke to certain tropes that have existed for decades about what the Jewish community is within business. Then several advocacy groups, nonprofits, pro-Jewish, pro-Israel groups like the Anti-Defamation League, the Black Jewish Alliance, the Creative Community for Peace, and the American Jewish Committee all came out and condemned this. He woke up and then he went on Twitter and then he put out an even more forceful, more visceral tweet that was truly anti-Semitic, and then saying, basically fronting himself as going to war with them. And that's when his accounts were frozen as well on Twitter. So this is typical of Kanye West's behavior. We know that years ago he was diagnosed as bipolar, and in an interview with David Letterman, he said he has periods when he's manic. When he's manic, he feels he is most lucid. But those tends to be the times where he has even more of a lack of filter. But now he has positioned himself with things he has said against groups that are very precious about their safety, because historically, that lack of safety has led to things like the Holocaust. And they know that when you have the Anti-Defamation League, they nip things in the bud very quickly. They might be seen as severe. But when you think about the history of the Jewish community, a man talking inspired motivation. Motivation went on to action, and action went on to the Holocaust. That's the power of words. And they know this, they've felt this, they've had great loss because of this. That's why they have to be so definitive in their reaction.
Well, thanks for setting that out. So a stormy few days for Kanye West, but does any of this increasing controversy and criticism have any impact on Kanye West himself or the popularity of his music?
Normally, he has diehard fans, which is what the Anti-Defamation League were saying. He speaks to a huge swathe of particularly the Black community and the young millennials and Gen Z that will go with anything that he says. They will go to bat for him, and that's what worries them. That when you speak to hate speech, which was the violation that Twitter and Instagram said he made, they will believe what you say because it's seen as almost apostolic in his position within popular culture. And for him, his brand will never be damaged with them because he can do no wrong. But the interesting thing about, despite the times we've known he said controversial things, like during Hurricane Katrina, he said Bush doesn't like Black people. During Trump's administration, he said slavery was a choice and they should abolish the 13th Amendment to the American Constitution. This time, attacking Black Lives Matter, attacking the Jewish community, you struck at the heart of two institutions that exist due to the fundamental vulnerabilities of disenfranchised groups. That kind of ire is not something you can shake off, because it doesn't matter who your fans are. These people really have power and influence, and to alienate them and even anger them puts your business and your livelihood at risk. And he's an entertainer. He's beholden to the people.
Judita, thanks very much indeed. Great to see you. Judita Da Silva, Arise Entertainment correspondent, talking to me there from London.